Well, Peter, it's that time of year again. It's 2025, so we're taking our little look back at the best and worst movies of 2024.
Ooh, there's been some stinkers and some great ones as well, mate. So this is going to be interesting. I'm looking forward because I think, James, there's an opportunity here for me and you to Barney, because your choice in movies is quite often, let's be fair, dog shit. So whereas mine is great. So it's going to be interesting to see how we'll fall out on some of the categories, I think.
I want to clarify for everybody that Peter did the slides, and I did specifically request one film be put in the best category. And I know I haven't even looked, but I know you stuck it in worst instead.
No, I didn't. I put. How dare you, sir? Damn your eyes! No, I put it in exactly where you said, because it's your choice, James. And then I added the same image to the worst because that's my choice, James. Because you're insane. Because it's shite.
It's absolute
shite.
It's good movie.
Shite is it? We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
So we have a few different categories to go over. If you watched our video from last year, same thing again. We're going to start off with best villain. Just before we even go on to some of these, who's standing out to you?
What was that? Was that language?
who's sticking out in your head as like the best villain, like some of the best villain performances of the year?
I think there's been some great ones, and I think we'll go through the slides because you've got some good, interesting images there. But for me, the ones that immediately jump to mind are probably the ones I've seen more recently. So, Heretic, I thought Hugh Grant was superb. Yeah. Not your traditional villain in that. Well, he is at the end, I guess. I thought his performance was brilliant. Abigail, absolutely loved Abigail. Now, I would imagine a lot of people will say Nicolas Cage in Longlegs, pretty darn creepy. So I think there have been some great ones. And if we're going monsters, I don't think you've got it on the slide, but if we're going monsters, the Smile Demon from Smile 2, I thought was pretty darn impressive.
You were welcome to add things on. Well, I didn't want to say
I wouldn't dare. We all know this is your show. I'm just here for good luck. Do you know what I mean?
I said best villain, but like I feel like it's best villain performance, really, isn't it? Like I wouldn't have put, you wouldn't put a Jason or someone like on here.
If we're doing this just a few weeks later, and please do go check out our video on Nosferatu, I would have put Bill Skarsgård in as Dracula.
We'll stick him on next year. For some American viewers, that came out on Christmas Day. But for us, it was January 1st, so that is a 2025 movie. So that unfortunately didn't make the cut-off point. But we both seen Sorry. What a weird friggin' thing. Who's going to the pictures on Christmas Day? I'd love to see what the box office returns are on Christmas Day. Who's spending Christmas lunch chewing on a turkey leg whilst they're watching Nosferatu at the cinema? Christmas 2016, I went to see Daddy's Home. God, you're a loser. In San Francisco. Jesus Christ. On Christmas Day? Christmas Day. That says everything anybody needs to know about you, just James. It really does. Does it? I don't think it says much about me at all. Oh, I think it says a lot. A lot. Yeah. got the butter popcorn. It was pretty good. Of course you did. Of course you did. So we'll have a look at some of the best villains of the year. This was one I at the last second I remembered to like this movie at all. But Abigail. This came out like around April-ish. Kind of more horror comedy. But yeah, I thought this was phenomenal. I thought Abigail as like a villain character was just stellar. Yeah, I absolutely adore this film, and I think she, as young, I don't know how old she is, but as a young actress, was phenomenal in this role. Standout role for her. It was just brilliant. I loved the film. Great movie. Yeah. I like she's loving what she's doing in it. I think that's that you really feel that. She's an Irish actress, I think, a young Irish actress. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I love that flip as well, from sweet little girl to kind of murderous vampire. It's really cool. She does that well. It was funny how the film like played coy with the fact that, like, even though if you've seen the trailer, you know that she's the vampire in it. But like it plays coy with it for like 45 minutes or so, like until you reveal the big reveal, and it's like, that's cool. Yeah, it's like a Dracula's daughter kind of thing. Yeah, right. Very good. That. Yeah. Nicolas Cage is Longlegs. That was a weird image choice, Pete. That's why I picked it. Bo Selector, isn't it? Shamon, motherfucker. It's just. Do you know what? This just spoils it for me, man. Okay. Look at it. Interesting performance. It's Nick Cage. You know how much I love Nick Cage. He really, really does go full tilt in this one.
I mean, the bit in the car where he's kind of singing and shouting and stuff like that, it's full on Nick Cage. Do I think it belongs in best villain performance? I'm afraid not. I don't think so. I think it's more comic caricature than much else.
I remember specifically saying in the review that we did that it would be laughable if not for the fact that the movie itself takes him so seriously. Yeah. So I do think like he is very unsettling. I think he's just mesmerizing when he's on screen in this film. So like I wanted to put him in here. I think it is for me. Like this is up there. This is one of them. When we get to the end of the slides, we'll kind of pick our favorites probably out of them. But like this is a contender for me anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
He doesn't look like Bo Selector.
He does look like Bo Selector.
You're talking shit.
It's
Some people look like that, man. Some people got weird faces. like you, for example.
I don't think I do. I don't think I look like that.
No. Yeah.
No. Maybe it's a few more years.
Yeah.
Look at those nose holes.
Are you sure about that?
Look at those nostrils. Look at them. You could get 3 or 4 fingers of each of them.
Yeah. Classic Nick Cage performance though, like that,
Yeah, it's without doubt it's Nick Cage. Do you know what I mean? But that's part of the problem I think I've got with it. I don't know. It's not a film I've gone back and rewatched. I think I would like to go and rewatch it and just see what I think.
Fair. Hugh Grant,
superb
in Heretic. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think part of this I would also chalk down to like the script, like and how well written the film is. Like he has particularly a monologue involving Monopoly. That I thought was a good standout moment of the film.
His impression of Jar Jar Binks sealed it for me. Do you know what I mean? I have to say, standout performance is really hard because we're talking about horror. So is it who scared you the most, who made your skin creep the most? Who was the most grotesque on screen? I don't know. Nick, this guy, for me, in this movie, Hugh Grant, he gives us almost Hannibal Lecter kind of vibes, that kind of very calm, collected, very disarming kind of approach. But you realize very soon in that he could literally rip your eyes out any second. Yeah. And that, for me, is more scary than, say, your Terrifier. Do you know what I mean? This is more unsettling, being in a room with this kind of nutcase who could just click at any second,
Yeah, I think it's the charm, the initial charm. Like he's got his Hugh Grant charm, but when that switch flips, it's just like this guy's a creep. Fantastic. I thought really great one. I wanted to throw this one because I love this character. So, Kevin Bacon in Maxine. So he's like a private eye that's like following her throughout the movie. I just love the sliminess of him. I just thought the performance itself was great, but I just thought the character, like I dug it. I dug the 80s-ness of it,
Yeah. I mean, great performance. Kevin Bacon is a legend, isn't he? He's superb. I did enjoy his performance in this movie. The movie overall, bit of a letdown for me. Do I think this is a standout movie, a standout performance? No, I don't think so. It's good. It is very good, and it's Kevin Bacon at his best in it. So yeah, it is a good performance.
No, that's fair. And then Josh Hartnett from...
You're off your fucking tits. You are mental.
We didn't call this best villain performance. He's the best villain. I thought he was a fun character. I really enjoyed following him throughout the movie.
No. I struggled with his performance in this movie. His acting was atrocious.
Hang on. I don't think that's fair. I think Josh Hartnett's great in this film.
I think you're wrong. It's my opinion. Do you know what I mean? I think there are points.
I'm just saying I disagree with that. I
disagree with your disagreement, sir. Okay. I think you're right. I think there are parts of this where he's really, really good.
Yeah.
And then there are other parts where I think he's awful. But I don't think that's his issue. I think the script is a typical Shamalama Ding Dong script in that sometimes the way it's written, you just cannot perform it. Do you know what I mean? It's like
people don't talk like that.
Yeah, some of his dialogue is just awful, But to be fair to Josh, there are some great bits in this where again he flips between loving father to psycho and stuff like that. That's quite interesting.
Some of it's and like there's even like meme like on TikTok about this, but like some of it's a bit like there's no subtlety to it. It's like he's like this and then he turns around, he's like this. But I thought there's just some really great like particularly one of my favorite scenes in it was when he reveals to the pop star like what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit! Like, I think that was a really great, like, from the charming dad who wants to help his daughter to the lunatic. I thought that was great. So, I like this character. I think this deserved to be on the list anyway.
Yeah. Do you want to see more from this universe?
Yeah, I think I would almost, if they didn't fuck it in Glass, like I would have thrown this guy in with the Split kind of thing, like that would have been cool, like as a Joker kind of character maybe in that universe. But I think they fucked that. So
I mean, they've left it open for a sequel, haven't they? So I would be interested in more. I would be interested.
I do feel like though, like you had an elevator pitch with that first movie of like it's in a killer loose in a Taylor Swift concert. What do you do with the second one? It's just does it not just turn into a generic?
I mean, I think you can go and watch our review on this over on the channel, but I think my problem with this entire movie was, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I'd seen it all in the trailer. There was no real big set pieces apart from kind of the end that happened in the theater, in the like the music venue that hadn't been on the trailer already. There was no big kills or anything like that. It was.
I still enjoy it. I think like the actual, like the entirety of the concert sequence, like that chunk of the movie, I thought was just stellar, and I love the music in it. So I thought that was great.
Felt like a music advert for Shyamalama's daughter, but because that was who
she's great. She was really good. I enjoyed it
as a singer, as an actor, not so much. I thought she was dreadful at the end.
Well, agree to disagree, good sir. So yeah, what's your pick? Who's your best?
What's the actual title of the category? Go back to the title of the category.
Best villain.
Okay.
Who's the best villain? So you got Abigail, Longlegs, Heretic guy, Kevin Bacon in Maxine, or Josh Hartnett in Trap. You're gonna go Hugh Grant. I know you are.
Well, it's between Hugh Grant and it's between Abigail, but I think Abigail I'm leaning towards because I'll enjoy the film more. But actually, if I look at villain, it's probably Hugh Grant. I felt most creeped out by Hugh Grant.
I think that's a fair choice. I think he was that he would probably be my my second pick, my number one. I'm going for Nick Cage as Longlegs.
Longlegs.
I thought he was just on screen, just terrifying. Like the whole I have a lot to say about that film overall, but like I think he, like they had hyped that performance up a lot. And for me, I feel like it delivered what I wanted anyway. Just a really
unsettling.
Chilling. Yeah,
exactly. Unsettling.
Yeah,
fair enough. Good pick.
Right, next up, best lead, swapping from the antagonist to protagonist. So, it's been a lot of great ones. I think this might be the most nominees we have in this category. The most kind of the choices. We'll start off. Yeah, Michael Monroe and Longlegs. I felt I know we talk to say this all the time, but like it's a shame that horror movies don't get acknowledged in Oscars, like for acting particularly. I think she was just stellar in this. Like she's kind of this she has like minor kind of Asperger's or something in it. Like she has kind of social anxiety kind of thing. I thought she played that really well. She goes from being like confident to scared back to kind of like I just thought as a like protagonist for a film, she really just delivered for me.
Yeah, no, great performance. And I'm not sure if I've seen her in much, so I don't know how many movies she'd been in before this, but I thought she was really strong in this.
So the part of this might be I'm a big fan of this actress, so she stars in It Follows. She's the main character in that. She's in another film called The Guest that I really love as well. So like she's been around a while, but like I've always enjoyed her. But like I thought this was her standout performance, definitely. I think
she held the entire film, didn't she? Really. So yeah. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. The Substance, Demi Moore. You didn't get a chance to see this one, no?
Not seen this one yet. No, so I can't comment.
It's a very brave performance, I would say. Like she really puts herself out there in this. Like not even just like in the sense that there's like nude scenes, but the film is like about an aging kind of TV star who goes past her prime and is kind of trying to claim that back. And so like she really, a lot of it, like in terms of looks, it doesn't cast her in a great light. So I thought she was just really like I came out of the movie and that was the kind of main takeaway was like she was incredible in this. So like I really you should give this a watch. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Naomi Scott in Smile 2.
Winner. This is the winner. This was a phenomenal performance. I absolutely loved everything about her. I enjoyed the movie. And, again, we've got a review of that over on the channel. I enjoyed the movie, but I thought she was just amazing in this film. Superb. Absolutely loved her. And again, I don't know if I've seen her in anything else. I don't know what else she's been in.
Charlie's Angels, the reboot of that.
I don't think I watched the reboot.
And she is in Aladdin, the live action one. She's the princess.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So in a few things. Like, I've always kind of liked her, but I didn't realize she had this kind of acting chops like this. And like, you can pluck out like any sequence where she's freaking out. She's incredible. There's like a kind of car crash scene that she was just unreal in. Yeah, like really, I was disarmed. I was not expecting going into this to have like such a stellar performance out of her. And she really carries that film,
I just believed everything she was going through. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. When she was freaking out, like you say, I believed everything about it. I thought she was amazing in this.
Yeah, 100%. Dave Desmalki in Late Night with the Devil.
It's another good one.
This one, you kind of forget that this came out this year, but there you go. The kind of Johnny Carson kind of thing I thought was he was just stellar as that. Again, another actor like I know from things, but I think he really showed off his chops here. Just phenomenal, I thought.
Brilliant performance. Really, really liked this film. He was very good in this. I forgot about this one, to be honest. Really liked this one.
There you go. I know, some of them sneak in. Another one I feel like we kind of just forgot that this, how good this performance was, but Sydney Sweeney in Immaculate. There's some sequences she really goes through hell in this film. Particularly like I think it's coming up later in another kind of area of the video. But just this nurse who's not nurse, nun who's like going through this spooky events in this kind of chapel kind of thing. I just stellar again. Like I think really did the scary bits, well, the kind of freak out bits. But there's a lot of emotion in this character, I think, in the film, and she was just amazing. Another one, I didn't think she had these chops,
Yeah, I enjoyed Immaculate. Thought Immaculate was really good, and her performance in it was excellent. Yeah, I'll give her that. She was very, very strong. Good film overall, actually. Really enjoyed it.
Underrated, I feel. Like, I think even, like, thinking back to the best of the year is one that kind of I skipped over, but, like, it's a good one. Mia Goth's always stellar, and so I just felt like I had to throw her in. I think she was just equally great in this one. You rolled your eyes there, Pete.
I like Mia Goth. I feel I've seen her playing the same character in 3 films because I have, I guess, seen her playing the same character in 3 films. She is very, very good. I'm rolling my eyes because Maxine for me was a letdown as a movie. But there's no taking away. Her performance in it was very strong. Again, she always plays a very good part, doesn't she? She's an excellent performer.
I just love the determination of the character, and like she's sort of like an asshole as well. Like when she comes out of the audition, she's like, "I just fucking nailed it. Y'all may as well go home." I thought that was great. I like the cockiness, like a very different, I think, protagonist, like horror movie protagonist. So that's why I enjoy it. But
she's good. She is very good.
Stellar as always. Lupita Nyong'o in The Quiet Place Day One, another one just amazing. Like, especially when you don't get to say much, like you don't get to have much dialogue. Everything's in hushed tones. Like I think she really delivered.
I love this film, and she was excellent and a very, very strong addition to this franchise. I thought she was superb, really, really good. And again, another actress I can't remember seeing in a great deal. I thought she was very strong.
Black Panther.
Is she in Black Panther? Is she?
Yes. And the last, Lauren Laverne, she's great. I just love that character so much. I love particularly in the second one, but I feel like she really grounded the character. In the second one it's a bit comic booky, whereas I think this one she really brought her down to earth, I guess.
Yeah, again, she was excellent in this. And I think again, Terrifier 2 was a better performance, I think, but this was really, really interesting. I like her. I like her a lot, actually. She's very good.
Yeah. So who would be your favorite? You're going to go with
definitely.
Naomi Scott.
She's superb.
Do you know what? For me, from pretty much the entire year, right, it was absolutely a lock for Micah Monroe for me until Smile 2, until Naomi Scott. Just stellar, just really incredible. I feel like that might be my favorite performance from any actor of the year.
Yeah, I think she was amazing.
So
absolutely amazing.
Right, next up we have Excuse me. Best kill. So horror movies never go without horror movies not anything without the good kills, you know. Mm-hmm. So we got a few different ones. Now I know you hate the movie, Pete, but yeah, you have to give it props. Now this is like one of the most creative kills I think in any horror film.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was. It was really interesting. It was a good kill. It's just such a shame that I was asleep during it. But, no, it was a good kill. This is the one where he basically turns her inside out. I can't remember what he does.
Does he stab her through the chest and then he grabs her head and shoves her head through her chest and pulls her through her own body?
Something like that. Yeah, it was pretty darn grotesque. It was it was, in terms of originality and visceral kind of stuff on screen. If I take this out of the movie, this was a damn good death scene. It was grotesque and something I hadn't seen before. So yeah, I liked that scene. It was very good.
I don't think we actually named it that this is in a violent nature. I
can't say I can't say the name of the film. It makes us sick.
Okay, right. Smile 2. This is there's variety of options in Smile 2, I think, for best kill. This one really felt like ooh. But like it's you've seen bits of it in the trailer. But like the first kind of Smile victim in it grabs a dumbbell weight and just crushes his face with it. Like
I thought this was an amazing kill. I really did. And it's very, very graphic and very, again, visceral. I guess the only thing I would say is it is an amazing kill, slightly less impactful because we had a similar kill. Oh, he didn't die. We had a similar scene in Talk to Me the year before where the young lad's banging his head off the table, which I thought was even more graphic.
Think, Long Legs.
Yes, yeah, Long Legs did the same, didn't it?
Well. Yeah.
But there's no doubt this is a great scene, and it's hard to watch in the cinema because it goes on for quite a while.
Well, that was the disarming thing, is like you think that the next hit's the last hit and it's not. It's just kind of keeps going. Like it's 5 or 6 times he hits himself, and just every time he pulls it down, like his nose is gone and his mouth is like hanging off and stuff. It's just like whoa. That like one of the most gruesome scenes of the year, I feel like. And I think with Smile as well, like the violence in it feels very real, feels very grounded.
Yes, I agree.
So you've made it like even more like So this is a great one, I thought. Terrifier 3, again, you can pluck any kill from it, but I think the most famous one is the shower kind of chainsaw kill.
Up the hoop, chainsaw up the butthole, isn't it?
Takes a chainsaw up the ass and just various bits of him get chopped off. I think it's a fun one, right? But that scene also just made me go, well, where else do you go now at this stage? Like we've seen every piece of a person getting hacked off in every different way. Like where can you go from there? You know?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because with the Terrifier movies, I mean, we've talked about this on the channel a lot. I'm not really a gore kind of horror person. But I'd been told about how horrendous this scene was, and oh my god, he gets a chainsaw up the backside, it's horrific, and blah 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 blah. I don't think I felt anything watching it. It was like, more gore. I think the Terrifier movies have just now totally desensitized us to any of this kind of stuff, if that makes sense. The bits that freak us out more, and there's a bit in this scene actually, I think, where he's running away and his leg snaps. That does it more for us than seeing the chainsaw hit anybody, Do
you know what, for me, it's I think the most horrified I was in this movie was a thing that's happening off screen, where it's like she's got a shard of glass and she's like kind of playing with herself with it.
Oh yeah,
you just see like her face and then the blood hitting the floor and stuff, and that was the most uncomfortable I was. It's like you can only see silicone skin getting hacked open with a different thing so many times before it's just like, oh, this is all the same,
Yeah.
But I thought it was very creative. We've never seen a chainsaw up the ass in a film. I've seen like a shotgun up the ass, I think, into something.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
But yeah, this made me laugh. It was just a fun one, I felt. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Another great kill, the Kevin Bacon character getting crushed he's like locked into a car and put into a car crusher. Yeah. I really like the moment where just when it hits and like just the blood spurts, like
pops out.
That was really cool. yeah, I enjoyed this one. And just like it was a good like comeuppance one as well. You know, it was like this sleazeball character gets what he deserves.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Couldn't help but thinking of Superman 3, but when it was happening, because that's what happens in Superman 3, in it.
Does it?
No. Yeah. Superman puts, I can't remember if it's Clark Kent puts Superman.
Puts somebody in a car
Yeah. Superman, either Superman puts Clark Kent in or Clark Kent puts Superman in the car compressor kind of thing. Yeah. It's a whole other story, James. It's a whole other story.
Right. I'll take your word on it. And then lastly,
I can't even remember the scene. You put this in. This is Aliens.
Yes.
It's the acid.
Yeah, this is like the bit where the acid starts spewing on the guy and his hand starts melting off and stuff.
I can't even remember it if I'm being really honest.
A good acid. Honestly, part of this was I like a bit of acid every now and then. Yeah. Part of it was also just because like I felt like it was a bit weird to not have Alien in anything this year, even though it was pretty good. Like, so I just wanted to give it its props. This is a cool scene. I like this. This is like a moment. So
best acid death. Saw, the one where the young lad hits the button and all the syringes of acid go into the guy who killed his dad.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
A good one. Yeah. Right. So what's your pick for best of the year?
I mean, it breaks my heart. But probably the most inventive and the most interesting death is from that friggin' awful film where he pulls the button. That one, yeah. That's the one that I hadn't seen before. That makes sense. So that's the most interesting kill for us, I guess.
Yeah, I'll probably put this as my number one as well. Smile is very close, I think, because Smile was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But this one was just like I was impressed at like how it kept going on. And it was just like a ooh, and then like 5 seconds there, and like I just didn't see it coming. Like how
I do feel though I have to be very, very clear. I am literally only picking this for this one scene because the scene was very good. The rest of the film, dog shit. But this one scene, this death is interesting, so that's why I'm picking it.
So you love this movie now? It's worth watching, you would say?
Yeah, it is not worth watching. It's horrific.
Okay, all right,
horrific.
Fair. Okay. Best opening. So I think like a lot of the time.
Rude. Sorry.
Like an opening sequence is it can make or break a horror film. I think like a lot of the time you're planted in there. So it's a good opportunity, and I think a lot of horror films, their best scene is the opening scene. So,
yeah, agree.
Yeah, Long Legs. So I'm actually, when I said Long Legs, I know there's like the opening with the little girl, and then Long Legs kind of shows up, but I'm more referring to like the when they go house to house looking for somebody.
Oh yeah, and he shoots
sequence. So I'm going to couple like the first kind of 5 to 10 minutes of this. Well,
this is more unsettling. I think this is that's standard kind of cop fare, and you knew he was going to get shot. This for me was more unsettling. The kind of just the creepiness of it. And then when it pans down, and is he holding a hand at one point or something? And it was just
he's like talking to her, and then he like crouches down. And you see him.
Yeah,
for just a second. It's like
stranger danger. That's just felt unsettling for me. But I get what you mean about the house, the house to house, door to door kind of thing was interesting as well.
A combo. Well, for that one for me, like I thought one, they were throwing a psychic element into the movie, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So But I also just think like I wasn't expecting him to open the door and just get blasted right away. And I think the intensity of that was great. And that kind of ends in such a horrific way as well. Like I just thought that was so engrossing. Like that from that scene onwards, it's just like, oh, you're in this. Smile 2. The entire opening sequence, I believe, if I remember correctly, is one shot.
Yeah, one take in it.
Just so impressive. Like I was just like, wow, and this is a character who's in the first movie is kind of his kind of the wrap up of his story in this, but he's breaking into like these drug dealers' house to kind of try and throw the monster at them instead of him. Just so intense, I thought. Like I was, I think the one take thing really makes you feel it. It's not it's not particularly scary. Like it's more just like it's like an action sequence. Like it's just intense. It's just intense.
And it ends with a big kind of shock that shouldn't be a shock because you've seen it in the trailer. But I didn't put it into this scene. Do you know what I mean?
No, I saw it coming. But I think like the horror elements of it, like he's kind of like walking up to the house and you see like you're seeing what he's seeing, which is like the small monsters making him see a guy on fire. or so I think it's probably the character from the last movie on fire.
Yeah,
it was like a dream of that. I just thought that was like, you know. So I was
really
again,
good.
Just another thing about this movie I wasn't expecting that I was just blown away by, you know. So I thought, fantastic. This is Immaculate. So this is the nun trying to escape at the start.
Yeah. I couldn't find a proper image for that, and I was trying to remember what happened in the scene, but you're going to have to refresh my memory. I'm struggling with this one a bit.
It's just it's a really quiet one, but it's just a nun who's trying to kind of leave, and she's kind of sneaking around and like avoiding nuns. It's sort of a stealth sequence.
Right.
But I just remember just being so like, oh fuck, what's happening? And then it kind of ends in such a horrific way as well.
Yeah.
I thought that this really planted me in the movie. Like this was one that jumped to my mind of like I have to remember to put that one in.
Yeah.
For the end of the year. You know?
I'll have to go back and rewatch because I can't remember it, to be honest. I remember her skulking around trying to escape and getting caught before she manages to get out.
Yeah, just tension, you know. I think it's also really clever in retrospect. Kind of hint for the rest of the movie of like the kind of twist towards the end, you know. I thought that was great. And then Terrifier, do you put this one in?
I put Terrifier.
Put this one in,
yeah, Terrifier 3, and it's a bit of an interesting one. We had years, didn't we, of them saying that the first opening scene is the most horrific thing that you're gonna ever have seen on screen.
We didn't think we could do this.
Yeah. And it's not really, is it? I mean, basically, and it feels a little bit separate to the rest of the movie. I'm not quite sure where this fits in with the continuity of the film we watch.
Yeah, it doesn't end where it began or anything like that. So I don't know where this happened. So.
Basically, the bottom line is Terrifier goes into a house and chops up a family, including some children. So you do see him hack up a young kid in bed. And it is a bit of a gruesome start to the film, I guess. It is an interesting opening.
Yeah, like what's happening is horrific. I'm sort of almost like it feels a bit hypocritical when I said earlier about like how things off screen are worse than things on screen sometimes. But like in this case, I feel like it just didn't have an oomph because it's not on screen. Like you're hearing him hacking up at like the little boy, but we've not met the little boy. Whereas I think like the creepier bit is like the way it ends with the little girl, where he's like found the little girl. You don't see him do anything. But you just
I think that's all going to come back to the next film, you know. I think that scene was set after this movie because he's already got the Santa Claus costume and all the rest of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they'll tie this in somehow because otherwise it's just completely random. Like so, obviously, like he hit the house for a reason. But it wasn't as shocking as, and that's because I think probably in my own head had. Oh, we're gonna see him like hacking the little girl's arms.
They built it up too much, you know. They built it up too much, I think. So yeah,
it is a fun like stalking / sequence though. I think you know, like I did enjoy that. I like a good like Santa's here kind of moment. When it turns, so I enjoyed that. So that's just 4. What's your choice best of the year?
Probably going to go with Long Legs, I think, for creepiness.
Long Legs?
Yeah, for creepiness.
Fair.
That made me skin crawl most.
Yeah, I'm going Smile.
Yeah.
Not scary. Like there's a couple of but I just think like it was so impressive. Like I was just like it started. He gets hit by the car, and it's just like the thing is just like, oh fuck, and like you know you knew you were in for something special. I think at the end of that. So like I'll put that there.
Do that impression again. It was good. I mean, are you doing an impression of Smile or something else? What is that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
No.
Scariest scene. So like, you know, what was the creepiest or the most like oof? Smile 2, the dance troupe sequence. This was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, very, very good. Very good. So if you haven't seen Smile, basically, it's a bit like Doctor Who, the Weeping Angels. When you're looking at the things, they kind of stop moving. And when you look away, they move forward. So on this scene, there's loads of people kind of... And it's the way they're spilling over each other in the corridors and things like that. It was just really, really unsettling, getting closer and closer and closer. I thought it was really, really well done and really interesting.
Yeah, it's one you have to just appreciate the work that went into it. Like the choreography of this was amazing. It is also like her actual backup. Like if you watch earlier scenes, like it's her backup troupe.
Yeah.
Which I didn't catch the first time. I thought that was a fun detail. I love how again another like kind of impressive thing, but it starts off with a oneer of her like sculling water. She swallows like a liter of water. So I think they felt like that was a flex of like she can't do this multiple times. Like we're doing this in one go. And then she kind of goes into the bathroom and like shatters the thing. And that's how it kind of kicks off. But I just thought it was just so freaky and just like, ooh.
Very cool.
Yeah. We got Longlegs, the kind of confrontation scene.
Yeah. It was all right.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was like, we've had these two kind of going at each other like from a distance over the film, whereas this is like the face off. I think like I wasn't expecting where it was going. Like I think there's the big shock in the kind of thing when he's bashing his head against the thing.
Yeah.
Fuck. So yeah, I just think as a kind of a sharp left turn in the film, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's an interesting scene. I guess in terms of did it scare us or did it unnerve us? Not really. The bit where he does start hitting his head on the table is pretty unsettling. I'll give you that. But yeah, it's an interesting scene. It is an interesting scene.
Yeah. Now, Scariest scene, it's not like a scary one, but it's just it's just the birthing scene. So this is like the last shot of Immaculate, where she's giving birth to like it's Jesus. She's giving birth to Jesus.
Well, it's like a mutant version of Jesus, isn't it? It's like
it's supposed to be Jesus, and then she comes out and it's like a mutant baby. You see it in the background, isn't it? And then she goes and grabs a rock and kills it with a rock. I
still cannot believe how far they went with this. And I'm surprised there wasn't more kind of like, you know how you get all these mums against films and shit like that. I'm surprised there wasn't more of an outcry about this scene because, like you say, she's given birth to an abomination, hybrid, demon, Jesus baby thing. And then she pummels it to death with a rock, and you kind of hear it, and it's a really rough scene. You know, it really is rough. So
this is the scene that made me want to put Sydney Sweeney in for the best performance part as well, because like she's playing against type, and like, and I know like throughout the movie it's referenced like, oh, isn't that non-sexy, like, oh, I'll confess to you, all that crap, but like she really just went for it here, you know.
She
like,
definitely goes for it.
It's like, so I thought this was great and scary. I don't know is the right word necessarily, but it's just
gross.
It's stellar gross scene. And then this was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a film. So this is from the First Omen.
So you keep saying that. I'm a nurse, so I've seen some pretty disgusting stuff. I don't think I had such a visceral reaction to this scene as you had. Yeah, I mean, this really freaked you out.
You've seen prolapsed anuses and stuff like
that. I've touched prolapsed anuses, yeah.
For fun.
I pushed them back up.
So it's another birthing scene. So it's like the main character is kind of skulking around the hospital section of the orphanage, I guess, or something, and she's seeing someone giving birth, and next thing, and you full on see this, like a demon hand comes out of a woman's foof, and it was just such a shock.
Filthy nails.
I'll actually never forget. Like, this is burned into my brain now. Like, it was right.
Just imagine a few years in the future. You and the potential Mrs. Keegan having that miracle of life with you having a little one coming on the way. And then all you're going to be able to think of is this, innit? You know what I mean?
Just what if a hand pops out instead? Just like I proper gagged. I nearly got sick. Like, it was just fucking disgusting. It was pretty.
Just a little Kermit hand came out.
Yeah. And then now
I've put this in.
I do you know what? Great shout. Like, it's not really a horror movie, but I think like in terms of a scary, tense scene, this is up there.
So yeah, I absolutely agree. This isn't. It depends on your definition of horror, I guess. This isn't a classic horror movie, but this is without doubt the most uncomfortable and the most tense I've felt in a cinema for years. This entire movie, Civil War, for anyone that hasn't seen it, is superb. But dear God, this scene, perfectly played, by the way, by all the actors involved. This scene it stayed with us, and I've never felt as uncomfortable in a theater.
Yeah. So just to kind of briefly explain it, but it's Civil War set kind of, it's basically like the second Civil War.
It's 2025 in America, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. We'll see. So it follows these journalists who got to go from one part of the country to another, and on their way, this is a kind of midpoint of the movie. They're kind of stopped by these soldiers, and they're sort of like, "Oh, we're journalists." Yeah, but who do you support? And it's kind of this.
What kind of American are you?
What kind of American are you? And what country are you from? And stuff. So it's just like got this really sinister overtone of who are these guys now, and then it like takes some pretty shock kind of turns in that as well. So it's just like, I feel like part of it is also like they're, when you're in front of someone with a gun, that is like they can just do that if they want to. And, I think there's a that could happen kind of element to it that is really unsettling. So stellar. Like, that's the best scene in that movie, I think, and just absolutely tense. So what's your pick for the year?
So if I'm going in general, it's definitely this. This is the most unsettling I've been in a cinema. But if we're picking like traditional horror, what was that from Smile? Smile 2. I really felt a lot of the other scenes we've got here are grotesque and kind of, but in terms of genuine kind of making us feel scared, like hairs. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely Smile. Definitely Smile.
Yeah. I would say, this is the most tense scene, but I mean, this is burned into my brain now. The hand coming out of a foof. I didn't need to see that. Do you know what I mean? So like, I'm picking that one. That was just gross. I'm scared of that. So that's.
I was going to say something rude, but no.
Go for it. Go on.
Because I've seen lots of films with the hand going into the foof, which are a much better experience.
just play it in reverse. Yeah. Right. So before we do our best movie, Peter, there's been a lot of dog shit this year.
That absolutely has. Do you want us to tell you now which one it is?
Anyway, some of the bad movies that came out this year. Imaginary. I was so disappointed. Like, I didn't even have like super high expectations, but I thought, killer teddy bear, that's a fun idea, and it just wasted that. I thought
this was an awful experience from start to finish, because not only did I go to the cinema with some vile individuals, just you, I believe, wasn't it? But Jeff was a joy. It was just yourself. He was
very drunk, I remember.
He was, which was probably going to help with this movie, I would imagine.
If anything, if I watched this sober, it would be
this
worse.
Film. You know what? It had such potential, and there are elements of it that I really liked. I loved the mythology of it, the story behind it, but the execution's just utter shite. Special effects are awful. The end scene is awful. It's just such a letdown as a movie. I hated it.
It's that thing of like, you pitched this as the villain of the film, and then you move away from that every opportunity you get, and then at the end it's like not even that anymore. So I thought that was annoying. I didn't like the other world kind of thing. You're just ripping off like Insidious at that point. I felt like, just dog shit, just really bad, like really. I don't know if there was really anything I really like came out going.
I liked like I said, the mythology, the idea that all of these imaginary characters are kind of real or living.
Feed on.
That's an idea.
Kids. That's
cool.
Interesting. You could do something cool with that, but this movie didn't.
But it didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which almost makes it worse, I think. So Imaginary Night Swim. So this was like January. So this was like the first one.
Didn't mind Night Swim.
I thought it was fine. It was okay. It wasn't like nothing special in it at all. I thought again it was just a waste of its premise. I think a haunted swimming pool is a cool idea. And I can't even remember, like, towards the end it's just sort of like there's ghost kids and stuff. Like, I just thought it was sort of, it just moved away from it. You could have done a cool like Paranormal Activity kind of thing with this,
So I think I liked this more than you did. It's not going to win any awards. It's not my favorite horror, but I think it was an interesting little standalone story. I thought this was fine. That's about as good as I can get with it, really.
Do you know what? Another example, I think, of just a short story that didn't have enough in it really to be a full film. Like, it felt a bit kind of stretched out,
Oh, Jesus H. Christ.
Forgot about this one, didn't you?
I tried to forget about this crap.
Strangers Prey Nights, or not Strangers Prey Nights, Strangers Chapter 1.
It's awful.
Just the first movie, but worse again. Like literally the first movie again, just worse.
No, that's not fair. No, I hear what you're saying. The first movie is a masterpiece in suspense. This is like I think I said it at the time, you've ordered Strangers from Wish and you've got the kind of the budget version, the cheapy shit version that's got none of the intensity. It's just got nothing. I
remember being actively annoyed at like scenes where, oh, you could have done this thing and that would have been really creepy and intense, but they didn't. They did the other thing and the obvious thing instead. It's like, for fuck's sake. So like, it was just frustrating to watch it do things that the first movie did amazingly badly. It was just like impressive, I think, at a point.
I have to say the trailer for the second one, for the sequel to this, looks crap as well. The trailer's got nothing exciting in it at all.
What happened? Like the second one, to my knowledge, is amazing as well. So what happened here? Like, why did this just take such a left turn? Like, of just
no idea, but it's shite. It's dog shit.
Yeah, it's a shame. Taro. Did you remember Taro?
Again,
cool idea. Really cool idea.
Cool idea. Just horrendous execution. Some dodgy CGI. Some storylines that just don't make sense. Some characters that are physically detested. Like the bloke from Spider-Man. Hated him in this. What's he called again?
Battleon, is it? Jacob.
Oh, yeah, but a great idea, great concept. Just crap. Just disappointing.
Yeah. I like the idea. I just thought, because it's like sort of like in my head it was like Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. It's like these kind of these creatures come off these cards and attack these kids. I just remember being really annoyed by it, and then I hate all the characters in it. If I remember right, I thought none of the monsters were really like fun or interesting. They only do like 4 of them or something as well.
Yeah. And you saw them all in the trailer.
Yeah, just crap. Just a waste of time. I thought this one angered me. I did really enjoy. And then, we must have skipped a slide by mistake, Peter. I don't know what happened. Why is this in worst? This is supposed to be best.
This is the worst film of the year, hands down.
No.
Hands down.
Peter, you are talking shit. You're talking shit, Peter. Come on. Worse than. Hang on. I want to rewind a bit, right? You're telling me it's worse than Imaginary.
Yeah.
Worse than Night Swim. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you have that. Worse than Strangers Chapter 1.
Yeah.
And worse than Taro.
Yeah.
You're talking.
Did you not understand where I said the worst?
It's not the worst movie.
It is. So in my humble opinion, if in my humble opinion, this is worse than all of the other films you've just mentioned, because all of the other films you've just mentioned had points of the story that kept us interested or whatever. This just bored the living tits off us. This has a handful, if that, of moments throughout the movie that are minor interest points, like the bit where we just talked about where the lady gets pulled through herself. But 95% of this is just dull as ditch water. Now, you can tell us it's artistic and, it's great and all that kind of stuff. As a person who just wanted to be entertained in the cinema, this didn't do it for me. I get that people disagree. I get that you strongly disagree. For me, this was just boring, just not my cup of tea at all.
Okay, I you didn't get it, and that's fair.
Oh yes, right. Okay. I didn't get it.
Get the movie, that's understandable. Yeah. Not everybody can understand everything.
Yes, I get that. Yeah.
Some people are just like dumb and have no taste. Like that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Fine. I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll save my pick because I have nothing really bad to say. No, I will.
I believe you've just called us dumb on camera, but never mind. Okay, let's carry on.
I'll call you dumb off camera all the time. Like I don't know if you're there or not. Usually.
Let one know in the comments. Let one know in the comments who's right, me or James. Who's dumb? Is it me for not understanding apparently because I'm stupid this film, or is it James for just enjoying watching the bloke?
I don't think it's because you're stupid. It's not just because you're stupid. I think it's also. It's also like you don't have that kind of love and adoration for like Friday the 13th, which is what this is homaging. I think. So I think that's part of it as well. I do get you a lot of your criticisms I think are fair, but I also just think like you just don't appreciate it. You know, and I'm not trying to say that in an insulting way necessarily.
It sounds insulting. It does.
I know it sounds insulting, but I'm not trying to say it in an insulting way. But I'll address. I'll give my thoughts when we get to the next part.
You're not going to say which one you thought the worst movie was.
Oh, apologies. Did you actually think it was this?
Yes. Am I not making myself clear? I don't understand what's happening.
I just don't understand how you can have that opinion. It's hard because like
it's not hard.
Imaginary is a waste of opportunity and it's bad. Night Swim is just a waste of opportunity. Strangest Prey at Night is just bad, and then Tarot is bad and a waste. Yeah, Tarot. I think it's bad and a waste of its opportunity. So I don't know. But yeah, that was the most disappointed I was. I was genuinely like stoked for that, and then that was just crap. So yeah, I'm gonna say Tarot. Tarot is the worst movie of the year, I think. Worst horror movie anyway. Best movie. We're here, Pete. There's a few different nominees. I think we've talked about every movie in another category.
Yeah, though. Yeah. Most of them
we'll rapid fire through. Smile 2. I really was because the first movie but at the time I saw it, I've kind of appreciated it more now. But I liked it. I just didn't think it was amazing, and I thought this was amazing. I thought this was really like just from start to finish stellar. It was scary. It was entertaining. Like it was fun. There was like good action in it. I thought the performances amazing. Like really just an all rounder, just fantastic film. And I was blown away. Really like surprised.
I enjoyed the first one an awful lot. So, you know, I was worried that, you know, how sometimes sequels aren't as good as the originals. I was worried that this wouldn't live up to the first one for me, but this blows the first one out of the water. And I think importantly as well, this has left me really, really excited to see what comes next in this franchise. Cannot wait for Smile 3.
It just could go wild.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy thing that they set up at the end. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Great movie.
Yeah. The Substance, just a really interesting.
That's a horrible picture.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's in the movie. It's a body horror, but I don't usually like body horror, like Cronenberg kind of stuff. But it's got a fun tone to it. Like it's entertaining. I think that's largely the performances are great. The idea is really interesting as well, like of the whole kind of body swap kind of thing. And it just goes wild towards the end as well. Like Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid's not necessarily a villainous character, and he's just an asshole. But he was fantastic. Like maybe should have put him in best film as well. Just really interesting. And I think it's a good analogy, I guess. Like it has something to say about kind of women in media and the male gaze and stuff like that. I thought that was really fascinating as well. So yeah, really, really stellar, I thought. The First Omen, just a great prequel, great homage to the original. Like I think, I got another one that was like just surprisingly good.
Yeah, this one surprised me. I really did enjoy this. Actually, it was a very, very cool movie. Very, very cool. And there's that hand again.
It's like that hand, isn't it? It's the demon baby hand. Gross. Immaculate, another stellar performance. I thought really again a fun one. I think like First Omen is more like not artsy, but like it's very like the original, whereas it has like a fun vibe to it. You know,
I liked with the First Omen how it kind of seamlessly integrated itself into the Omen mythology from the first films. You know, you get that end scene which it just feels perfectly set. So yeah, I really like that. But Immaculate, again, very, very cool. Really, really enjoyable movie. A few religious kind of based movies this year that we've enjoyed.
A good few, actually. Yeah. It's and I'm never been much of a religious horror one, but I think there was just some good ones. Late Night with the Devil. When this came out, when we saw this was my number one. We'll get to the end and see if it still is. But I thought it was surprising. I love the kind of 70s late night TV kind of style to it. The way it's sort of like a mockumentary, it's like kind of presenting itself like it's like lost footage. I thought that was really great. Just stellar performances. You didn't really know what way it was going to go, you know, and so just edge your seat. I just thought, it was just great.
So I loved this, and this would have definitely been my choice for movie of the year because I love this kind of this genre, this subgenre, I guess. So we've got this, and you've got the old British 80s Halloween night thing, and then I've just watched one recently, Inside Number 9, Dead Phone, which was a live show that did exactly the same as this for a few years ago, which is really interesting. So I love that kind of genre. For me, sadly, this film drops itself down a few points if we're scoring it for the last 10 minutes or so. The CGI thing and stuff, it's like, if you just cut that bit out, if you just ended it with some practical effects spookiness rather than weird glowing heads and shit like that.
I think even if what happened, it was just off screen.
Yeah,
you know, it was. I think it was like actually the effect of it was what kind of took me.
Yeah,
like I would have rather had it be mysterious of like, something's happened, but we don't know.
Yeah,
specifically what, just some kind of transformation happen.
Yeah.
I agree, but I think like it's just stellar up to that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
That didn't ruin the film for me. I think.
No, I'm not saying it ruined it. I'm just saying it was like it's for such a great film. It felt like a bit of a disappointing end,
I agree, 100%. In a violent nature. Now, I appreciate when a film does something different. Like, I'm not going to say this is my favorite of the year. I'm maybe going to, like, because it's not. But I like that it's doing something new. I think it's a really cool homage to Friday the 13th. I think the idea of it where it's like Friday the 13th, but we're just following Jason the whole time, and like it never cuts away from him. I thought that was really cool. Like I get that it's slow, like a lot of it is just walk, but I think that kind of lets you reflect on what's happened. I really like how like story beats are happening off screen. So like you have there's a bit where the camp kind of counts their characters, like take a photograph and he's in the background, and then like the next time he's passing the camp they're talking about like that guy that was in the photo, like that the Friday the 13th movie is happening, just not in front of us. I thought that was a really cool idea. It's not scary, but like it's I thought it was fun. It was an interesting watch. Like it's not like a popcorn blast, movie. Maybe towards the end it gets there, but I just thought it was really unique, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm pleased for you, James. I'm pleased.
Thank you. So let's save ourselves.
I think I've said all I need to say about my views on this film.
Fair enough. Yeah. Long legs. Yeah. Just the sheer tension of it. Like I thought this was chilling like the entire way through. It's let down in certain area. I think the story takes a very weird towards the very end. But the
sorry,
go on.
No, I wish they'd just stuck with Silence of the Lambs.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I think if they'd just done that rather than working in, like, and the psychic thing is an interesting part, but then you start getting into like kind of voodoo stuff, sort of like with dolls and things. It was just very weird. But I think like as a cop thriller, Silence of the Lambs thing, like that element of the movie is perfect. Like it's just it's scary. It's just I felt like a tension, like my heart beating a little faster the entire film. So I give it props for that anyway. And then we have Heretic.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Heretic. I thought it was very good. It might be because it's probably the most recent horror I've seen. Do you know what I mean? So it might be living better in my head, I guess. I thought it was atmospheric. I thought it was really, really cool. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Just a tense experience in the cinema.
Probably my favorite script of the year. I think it's really sharp. Like the dialogue in it, like the monologues the characters go, and they're kind of like philosophical argument, that they have in that is really great. I like the concept of it too. I think it's like two Mormon girls, go to recruit this guy. Like even like as things start to turn sinister was really great. Like where he's like saying, "Oh, my wife is in the back," and then the candle with the blueberry pie. I thought that was a great ball drop. And you feel scared for them. Which was great, so like, and then I think it also, like, in the back half, it takes a turn in terms of, like, who the protagonist is. Like, there's a bit of a twist there that I thought was great as well.
Yes, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, really, really stellar. And last but not least, we got Abigail.
Yeah. So this is a really hard. This is the last slide, yeah.
Yep.
This is a really hard category, and I'm trying to work out how I define what my favorite horror of the year is. There's no doubt. I think for me, Smile 2 is right up there in terms of horror, in terms of really enjoyment. But I have to say, I had the most fun probably all year long with Abigail. I think that's the one that I would, if I think about which one would I probably be repeat watching over the next few years, it's probably Abigail. I just think it was fun. It had some great special effects. It had some good horror elements of it. I loved the cast. I thought every member of that cast was pitch perfect. And it was a different, interesting story. I liked the concept, So, yeah, in terms of favourite horror or favourite experience watching a horror, it's probably Abigail for me this year.
Interesting. Not the one I would have expected. Yeah. I think it's very fun. It's just a great popcorn flick.
Yeah.
Like, the characters are really, I love their kind of interactions with each other, like the bank rob, the robber, the kidnapper guys. Just a stellar, like one of the best cast films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's got some great action in it, like the kind of when she's doing the ballerina thing. I thought was fantastic. Some great twists in it. Like, yeah, it's just an absolute blast from start to finish. So, for me, I think I'm on a different. Like, if I would say overall film, this maybe would go higher. But if we're saying horror films, I want to give it to something that was maybe a little bit scarier, like, because there's no scare in this at all, I feel. So I think I'm going to give it to Smile. I think that's my number one. I think just blown away by the quality of it, like how much it improves on what's in the first movie, the vibes of it, like the pop star kind of element of it, I thought was really interesting. I wasn't expecting to love this as much as I did, like, because the trailers were just on over and over again. Oh, that'll be stupid, dumb fun, but like you watch it and it's like just really intense. It just improved on that formula, I think. So yeah, I absolutely just loved it. So I think that's my number one for the year.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. Oh, it was a great movie as well. Probably it gets sequel of the year, most definitely, but probably one of my most enjoyable theatre experiences as well. Really, really liked this one.
Yeah, 100%. So that is oh no, that's the wrong slide. That's 2024. So yeah, I think really just a stellar year for horror movies, I feel.
Yeah, so a cracking year, I think, for horror films in 2024. I thought there were some really, really interesting ones, some different ones. Like, it's a bit of a religious year, really. Lots of religion going on.
It is a Heretic. You got Immaculate. You got a lot of creepy, spooky, holy movies.
Yeah, holy people. Nuns, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's 2024. We will be back next year with a look back at 2025. What's some of the movies are really...
Well, James, I think, there are some great films coming out in 2025. I think we should do a separate little video for the good folk to watch about our favorite movies that we're looking forward to, because there are some interesting ones. Wolfman in particular is jumping out, and I am very intrigued by Companion. That looks interesting as well.
It does. Looks weird, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm excited for that. I think The Monkey could be really good. That's a Longlegs director. Like, if he has that kind of tension, that could be great. Outside of that, Sinners looks really interesting with that's the Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler one.
I'm noticing you're not mentioning Strangers Chapter 2. That's on there.
It is. Hard Eyes looks fun, like a Valentine's Day killer kind of thing. That's from the Happy Death Day.
I like that
director. So yeah, that'd be great. So like, I think it'd be, but also like the thing about horror movies is like they often come out of nowhere. So like probably what will end up like Talk to Me, I remember, came out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure I don't know if at the beginning of the year I heard of Longlegs or what that was going to be.
Yeah.
So I think like probably the best horror movie of next year, we don't even know what it is yet.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's the fun thing. Yeah.
Brill.
Grant. Right. So that is our 2024 wrap up. Happy New Year, guys. Thank you so much for watching and enduring us for the last year. We appreciate it. Me mostly. People welcome you with open hearts, don't they? So thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please leave a like and consider subscribing. We review all the latest horror movies in the cinema, and we have I'll Be Right Back, which is our retro reviewer series. We also do One Good Scare live every second Friday. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.